Well, that fuel tank on there, enough of a counterweight. A heck of a time getting this thing to roll over here. Imagine what it's going to be like when it gets fuel in it. But I got it rolled over 90 degrees. I need to work on this guide tube for the water rudder retract cables now. I showed that earlier in another video, putting that on. I fit it in and put some T-nuts in the bottom of that floorboard there. Located the hole where it passes through that side panel. Now we got it back in there. Now we got to figure out some way to support that as it goes down underneath that fuel tank. It comes back here to this center strap. What they had before on that was kind of a little clever little thing. They had this piece of aluminum. It's got a curve here, and then that fits in around that underneath that strap there. And then it has a hole in it here. It had a grommet in it that this thing would just sit inside that grommet, and that was actually a pretty clever idea. That actually worked pretty good. Problem with it is that it's got sharp edges on it, and it got pulled in to the gel coat and the paint on this fuel tank and kind of left the indentation in there and scratched it. And the other thing is, it's I don't know what gauge that is, aluminum. It looks like it's thicker than 40 thousandths, but anyway, it's just aluminum, and it's already pretty well corroded. So I don't really want to use that one again or reuse that one. Figure out some other way to do that. One of the ideas that I had was to take a piece of this stainless steel and bring it out there, do the same thing with it, put a hole in it and a grommet in it, and just weld it onto this strap, hang it down and weld it onto that strap and run that thing through there, and that would work okay. But the idea that I came up with that would be easier to do was to take one of these Adel clamps. This is a stainless steel clamp, and of course it's got a rubber grommet on it. I just take that and put that around it. That'll hold it there. And what I was thinking about doing was just go ahead and drilling a hole through this strap and welding probably a number 8 or number 10 screw, stainless steel screw through there, through this strap, and then there'll be a stud sticking down there, and it can be all trimmed off flush on the inside underneath there. It won't protrude any and scratch into that tank. That would hold that nice and tight on there. Rubber grommet around there would tighten that right up and hold it tight. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. Clean that up, take this strap off, and then just put a stud in there. There's the stud welded in for a screw. Turned out pretty good. Thing works a lot better once I get it fixed right. So that stud will stick out there. So I go down and round over this end and trim this up a little bit. I guess it's time to start digging into my finish supplies and stuff that I bought for putting the airplane together. I've got things to seal in around the windows, some felt, some other things. One of the things that I bought, I was looking for some kind of tape, something to use for anti-chafing to go between like those metal panels, like the boot cowl panels where they overlap the side panels and stuff like that. And I got this fiberglass tape with liner. This is the tape. I got 2 different sizes. I thought I had 2 different widths, but it turns out there's 2 different thicknesses. This stuff is 5 mils, the other stuff is 10 mils. But this is it. It is a fiberglass. Putting it on here was kind of a chore because the backing coating on there sticks to it better than it sticks to the metal. Washed this metal down with paint thinner, and then washed it down with acetone and let it dry, so it was good and clean. There's no oil on it or anything, but I didn't want to stick to it too bad. It's sticking to it now, and it's a little wider. It's 1 inch wide. Anyway, I'm going to try to put that on there. That'll help keep this from abrading and in there on that fiberglass, on that paint. I don't need it all the way up here. It only needs to be on the sections that actually contact the fuel tank. So I'm going to trim this off just a little bit here, because it'll probably just come off anyway and be flapping in the breeze if I don't. So I'm going to put that on there. And this should be the last time I put this strap on, So I've got it cleaned off on the other side where it goes on there. I'm going to put peralkatone on everything there. I'll have to take the strap off and roll it over and take the strap off, the short strap off on this side, so I can clean it up and goop it up while I'm putting this on. I'll do it on the other side right now. Okay, this is how that's going to work. That's that Adel clamp on there, and that stud welded in to the bottom there, and it's protected with that fiberglass tape on that strap. It protrudes through just a little ways. The cable will come out there and go back to the water rudders. I think that's going to work out just fine. Well, now this has got to come off of there until we get farther along. It's got to wait till this side panel gets put on here before that gets put on permanent. At least we got it fitted on there now. Know how it works. Know that it works. So that's a nice clean fit up there. I reshaped this tube so that it follows the contour of that fuel tank a little more. Okay, I like that. So I'll take that off and put it away for now. Roll this fuselage back upright, take that center strap off of the other side and clean it up and put some peralkatone on it, and I'll do the same thing with the other two straps.